Okay, good afternoon then, you year 5 students. Okay, so today we're just going to be going over some intervention work and we're going to practice again on the bus stop method. It's going to be exactly the same pretty much as what you did in your intervention lesson with me. Now I wanted to do this video so that then you have this video on the bus stop method permanently. You have it all the time. So if ever you want to practice your bus stop method, your dividing skills, okay, you can use this video then to help you. Okay, so I'm going to run through it really slowly and just show you all the different methods, the strategy of how you do it each time. And then I've got some questions for you to then access on the website as well, which you can have a go at. Okay, so let's have a look. So I know you've seen this slide about 1,000 times, but we're going to show you again because it lays it out really nice and neatly. Okay, so if you want, when you're doing the questions, okay, you can maybe have this slide up so then you can see what you need to do each different step for the bus stop method. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here so you can then come back to this video if you want and pause the video, and then it can be on there whilst you're doing your work if you want to. Okay, so I'll just leave that there. Right, okay, and then again another example showing you how to do it with the question next to it. Okay, so I can show you that as well. Now what I'm going to do with you today is I'm going to go through these questions with you. Okay, so they're very similar to the ones before. I'm going to lay them out just like this, but I'm going to talk through it step by step. So obviously our first number then we have is 764 divided by 5. That's our first number, so and that is what I've got here. 764 divided by the 5. So lay it out like this for me. Okay, so I want you to write this in your books. I'm going to go through it together step by step. So the very first thing we need to look at, or what I'm going to do, is as you can see here, I've got my hundreds, my tens, and my units on the right hand side of the screen. And I'm going to draw them out just to help me. So we'll start with the hundreds. So how many hundreds have we got? So we just need to look in our number and look in our hundreds column. And of course, there are 7 hundreds. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now notice when I'm drawing out my numbers, okay, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then started a new line. Now I've done the 5 in a row first because I can see that my number I'm dividing by today is 5. Okay, so it basically, if I do it like this, it helps me when I'm actually doing my dividing to group my numbers into groups of 5 because they're already in a line for me. Okay, so I'll do exactly the same for the tens. So we have a look in our tens column of the numbers. So we've got 6 tens. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll start a new line, 6. And then we have a look at our units. We do exactly the same. So we've got 4 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's only 4 there, so I can't group it around that one. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to look at then is how many 5s go into 7. That's our first number. Okay, our first question we need to ask ourselves. So basically, to remember this, you would try and imagine this 5's little person. He wants to fit himself into the bus stop. He wants to get under the bus stop shelter because he's cold and wet and rainy, so he wants to get in. So he's going to firstly try and fit into the 7. So we've got to see how many 5s go into 7. So if you have a look on the right hand side on our hundreds column, first thing we need to do is work out how many 5s there are in the 7. So I'm going to circle my groups of 5. So I've got 5 dots on the top because that's how I laid it out to begin with. So I can circle that. There's one group of 5, okay, and that's the only group of 5 that I have. So I can put now my 1 above the 7 because that's one group of 5 in 7. Then I've got to look at how many have I got left over. Okay, so I've got 2 dots left over. So that's my remainder. And that remainder will go next to the 6 in the following column. So I've got 26 then. Now I've got 6 tens drawn out already. I need to then add these 2 more, these 20 more that I've then added in as a remainder. So I can add 20 more on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So now I've got 26 dots in my tens column that I've drawn. So make sure you're doing that as well. So the next thing I need to look at then is, so the wet and rainy 5 is try to get into the 7. You can't do that, so you're going to come and try now into the 26. Okay, so you're doing 26 divided by 5. How many 5s into 26? So again, I'm just going to circle them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I've got 5 groups of 5 in 26. 26 divided by 5. Okay, I've got 5, which I can put on there, And don't forget, then I've got one left over here. Just got one left over. So that remainder, that one that I've got left over, I'm then going to put from my tens column into my units column. So I'll put that there as a 1. Okay, so that shows that number now is not 4, but 14. So I need to draw out my 14 dots to help me. So let's do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there we've got 14 dots. I've added 10 more, so now I've got 14 dots in total. So I've got to work out then how many 5s then go into not 4 but 14. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing I've done before. I'm going to circle my groups of 5 to work out how many 5s are in 14. So I've got one group of 5. I've got 2 groups of 5. And that's it. I've just got 2 groups of 5. So those 2 groups that I've got, I can then put above my 14. But how many have I got left over? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There's no more numbers here. So I just have to write an R to show that it's a remainder, and then the number 4. And that's your final answer. Okay. So hopefully you'll understand that. If you're still a little bit confused, we'll have a go at the next one together. So I've done exactly the same. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw it out just to make it easier for you. Okay. So remember, once you get to, you do lines up to 6 because that's what the number you're dividing it by, and then you can start a new line. You don't have to do it like that. It just makes it a little bit more easy when you're actually doing your dividing. So 1, 2, 3, because that's how many hundreds I've got. Now have a look at how many 10s I've got. Just the 1 that time, so I'll just put 1 there. And then in our units, in our ones column, we have 7. Got 7 ones, so we'll draw them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So there are my units. So the very first thing we do, okay, so the number 6 wants to fit into the bus stop, so he's going to try to go into the 3 first. Okay, and then we have a look over here, and what we need to do first of all is circle any groups of 6 that we can find. Okay, but we've only got 3 dots here. Okay, we haven't got enough dots to circle a group of 6 because there aren't 6 dots or more than 6 dots. So we can't do it. We've got 0 groups of 6. 0 groups of 6 will fit there. So we can put our 0 above there because that's how many groups of 6 there are. There are no groups of 6. But we still have some left over. We've still got these 1, 2, 3 hundreds left over. So we're going to put those 3s into our next column. Okay. So the next thing we need to do then is we now are working out not how many 6s go into 1, but how many 6s go into 31. Okay, so you can draw them out again. Now obviously it's a little bit hard to draw it out, but I'm going to do it anyway. So if you don't want to draw it out, you can try and work it out in your head and count up in your 6s, count on your fingers how many groups of 6s you got and what you've got left over. But I'll draw them out here. So we've got 31 dots. We've got 1 already, so we need to add 30 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So we've got 31 dots in total there in our 10s column. And we've got to work out how many 6s go into 31, so we're going to group them all together. So we've got 1 group of 6 here, 2 groups of 6 here, 3 groups of 6, 4, 5 groups of 6. We've got 5 groups of 6 there. So that 5 groups that we've got will put above our 31 because that's where our answer is. And we've got to see how many we've got left over. So we've just got the 1 left over this time. So that remainder, that 1 we've got left over, we're going to carry into our next column, our 1s column. We'll put that there. Okay, and we can draw it out. So we've already got 7 1s. We're just adding 10 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, oh dear, 4, 5, nearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so now I've drawn my 17 dots for you, and we've got to work out how many 6s then, not go into 7, but go into 17. Okay, it needs to get into the bus stop. So how many groups of 6 we've got? Let's highlight them. So 1 group of 6 here, another group, that's 2 groups of 6. We've got 2 groups of 6, which we can put then above the 17. And how many have we got left over? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We've got 5 1s left over. So we've got no more numbers here, so we can just write that as a remainder. 5. Okay, just like that, and that's your final answer. So what I want you to do now then, year 5, or those of you that are doing this intervention work for me, I want you to then do the questions that I put on the activity sheet for you, okay? And run through all the questions. Every single question, you're doing exactly the same thing. Every single time, you're just working with different numbers. So have the PowerPoint on, have this video on whilst you're doing your work so you can follow the same structure. I don't mind if you have this slide on, you can have this slide on. You could maybe go back and have a look at either of these two. I don't mind how you do it, okay? But use this video to help you as you go through the questions. If you get to the end of all those questions and you're still not very happy and you want to have some more practice, then feel free just to make up your own, guys, okay? All you have to do is just make up a 3-digit number. So I'm going to come up with 832. That's my number. And I'm going to divide it by a 1-digit number. I'm going to choose 7. And then just draw it out and have a go. So just make up your own numbers, okay? If you want to have some more practice on your own, or ask your parents to give you a random number. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so hopefully that's helped you. Please use this video as much as you like to help you. It'll be on there permanently now on the website to help you with your bus stop method. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your weekend or whenever you're doing this, and I will see you all soon.